All right, guys. So the first thing I want to talk about is the tweet from last week, and it was Taylor's tweet talking about students peer reviewing each other's work based on essays, and it just looks like a really fun way to get students, to learn about how to peer review, but also like integrating the technology and making it effective, which is kind of what we've talked about in class this week. So I thought that was really cool. So then I'm going to talk about my tweets. This was my first tweet, and it says, educators always reflect on why students may act with resistance or apathy. Students are not giving you a tough time. They may be having a tough time inside or outside of school. My advisor would say, get curious, not furious, and think of that often. And this tweet just really resonated with me because we have a student who, in my clinical placement, has a really tough home life. And so he sometimes will act out in school. And instead of getting frustrated with him because of the way he's acting, you've just got to kind of let him act the way he's going to act and kind of ignore it for a little while, and he'll come out of it. But we've got to understand as educators that it's not necessarily the student's fault. It could be things that they're saying at home. It could be they're not getting attention at home. It could be a lot of different reasons. So we've got to get curious and not furious and stick with our students if they start having a hard time. My second tweet is a video, and if you go watch it, it's these students are going to pick up cards on their heads. And so they have Vaseline on their heads, and then they go pick them up and stick them on their heads, and they're divided into teams, and each team has 10 cards, and each team also has a different color, and then they have to solve these 10 problems. And this was just a really fun way to have students really engaged in math and have them answering questions and doing it on their own, but maybe making it a little bit more competitive and letting them have a little bit more fun with it. And then my last tweet is, the tweet itself says, absolutely critical to build, rebuild, reinforce, and create trusting relationships with all stakeholders. And so I know one thing that really has resonated with me, and I just continue to find tweets about, is creating relationships with your students. And this is the quote that was on that tweet, and it says, the most important role of educational leadership is to always remember that people, not policies or programs, are what drive highly effective schools. So basically it's just saying care about your students, care about your school, care about the people that are at your school, your cafeteria workers, your custodial staff, your bus drivers, your activity teachers. They all help run the school and make the schools highly effective. And we just need to remember that and remember our students. So y'all have a good rest of your week.